I moved to Michigan in 1993 from Boston, Massachusetts, after having found my husband, who was my high school sweetheart. 2 years after we got together, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I only had 3 years to live. So I was sick for 4 years, and then I discovered a clinical trial at Karmanos. The trial was for a drug at that time, which was called STI 571, and it was specifically for what I had. I was accepted into the trial, and in 3 months I was in remission, and in 6 months I was in total remission. And I knew I wanted to get back to work. So I wanted to do something with my English and my drama, and I knew I could start my own company and do something on my own, but I couldn't quite figure out what it would be. But I wanted to do something that would make a difference. I started working at Brecon Village, and through my work there with the elderly people, I started doing interviews with them. And then I went off to Tom Curvin, who was running the Saline Reporter. He hired me as a reporter, and he would give me feature assignments. Most of them had to do with artists. I would go out and saw artists working all by themselves without any networking going on. One artist would know about another artist, and they were all in separate locations. And I thought it would be a great idea to get them all together and have a community of artists where they could share and not be working in a vacuum. So that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't quite know how to do it. And each day as I came down the street from the Saline Reporter to my home in Lodi Township, I would pass that house at 212. And I just loved that house. And I thought I could make a little art center there and maybe have all my ideas come to fruition. So I opened the doors, and there wasn't much on the walls. And the first artist who came in was Jan Israel, and she said, "This doesn't look much like an art center. I'll be right back." And she came back with a car full of her paintings and a nail and a hammer, seriously, and hung them all up and gave me a mailing list. And then we started. And then Val Mann was meeting with people about doing a mural on a building downtown. And we met at Val's house, and I thought, oh, here's a bunch of artists. We could get them together. People started hearing about us. Eventually, we opened a pottery studio in the basement of 212. But meanwhile, we were flourishing with our two-dimensional art and our classes, and the foundation and the board. They were very happy about what was going on. As we grew out of the 212 building. So Rob Kinsey, who was working with us also at the time, found this building 2 doors over. So we jumped over here, but that's how it started. My artistic passion is mostly in theater. I mean, that's what I'm familiar with, or that was what I was familiar with 10 years ago. But I've learned a lot about two-dimensional art, all kinds of media, and it's surrounded me for 10 years. And I love seeing what comes from a blank piece of paper or a blank piece of fabric. Those things that come out of nothing, and the excitement of artists and the sharing of artists, and how excited they can get over small pieces of what I used to think was nothing, a little piece of straw or a button. What we've done is build a community around art, and that's really a great thing. And people come here and feel safe, and they can express themselves through their art and network.
The best part is that you have people teaching and learning from each other that both have anywhere from a master's degree down to being self-taught, and we all learn from each other in ways that it's a real non-hierarchical place, so everybody sort of looks at each other as having possibility and things to teach each other. You know, you learn almost as much sometimes in a class from the person next to you as you do from the teacher, and it's just a wonderful, nurturing environment for learning new techniques and honing old techniques. So 212 Art Center is a place where you're going to have a great time learning something and meet new friends. There was a good quote several years ago. Phyllis Martin, she was 82, and she said at one point, you know, I never thought at this point in my life I'd be making such great new friends. And I thought, at any point in your life when you get to make great new friends, it's cool, you know? So here's Phyllis, who's 40 years older than me, and here's me at my age that's still making good friends. So
it means a lot to me. It's my community now and my friends. I came from a place I knew, as I said, no one. And now I have dear friends, families, and a place where I feel like I belong. And I've learned so much about art. The journey has been learning how to coordinate all the programming. The biggest issue we have is getting people to come because they don't know what we do. We are an educational facility. We teach art. We're not a gallery. So a lot of people think we're a gallery, and they just go by and say, oh yeah, we've seen your place. What are you doing there? It's a continual journey in finding people to understand what we do. We'd love to get people who are in the demographic of ages 30 through 45 or 50. We'd love to get teens, and we try a lot. We have a lot of outreach, but we're not hitting them all. And we've worked out in the community. Thursday nights in the summer at Summerfest, we bring chalk. The kids are learning art and having fun, and we also do summer programs with kids. So we're spreading art through the community, and that's exciting. We have displays here. We feature one artist, as you can see, every 2 months. And then from here, the artwork goes to the library. And then we also have artwork in community ed. But they can always come here. Anyone can come here. And we have receptions that are open to the public and through our website, which is 212arts.org. My favorite part of the art center is that my little seed grew into a very large community. And for 10 years, we've seen kids grow up, and we've seen marriages, and we've seen deaths, and sickness, and healing. And people have been turned on to art, which is great. People who think they're not artists, so I can't draw a straight line, they come here and they realize there aren't a lot of straight lines, actually. I think everyone has something inside them.
I just love this center because it really was a place for me to congregate with other people from the community. This place has really inspired me. I love this place. I love the events that they have for the public, and I love the accessibility of the arts through this. You know, a lot of art centers and art galleries are kind of intimidating to people, you know, if you don't know anything about the arts. This place is just the opposite. Everybody has a creative streak, no matter what, and no matter how old you are. And this is a great place to explore that.
And if you just spend some time looking at what we're offering, just call, register for a class, and there you are. Or we have cake eaters on Fridays. I know it's a funny name for a group, but we did start it by eating cake. And we still eat a lot of cake. But it's a great organization, and anyone can come in on a Friday and just sit and listen. And it's a group of artists, and they just do networking and show and tell and share some of their new creative ideas and methods. And it's a good place to be with people who are like-minded. So come in on any Friday morning at 9 o'clock.
212 Art Center, it saved my life. It had been since college, since I had other creative people to share ideas with and to connect with. And one day I was taking my daughter to the dentist just kind of across the way there, and I saw 212 Art Center, and I'm like, we gotta check that out. We came in when they were closed, and I'm like, I just need a brochure. I gotta see what you guys are about. And so they invited us to come to Cake Eaters. The people were just so friendly and so creative and so welcoming to share their gifts and their talents. And I have been here like every opportunity since then, taking numerous classes. I actually have been teaching some classes here too. So yeah, it's become kind of a way of life for me.
It's all been a very big reward. I guess it's just hearing people say, I never knew I could do this, look what I've done, and they'll show something that they've created. Or people just being so proud of their work and willing to put it out there and show it. Art on the Runway, which we had recently, and people say, oh, I can't do that. That's pretty scary. But people coming out of themselves and just jumping into an art world that they never knew they could do, never dreamed they could do it. I never dreamed I could do it, they would say. And that's really rewarding.